Hey, what's up YouTube? Benaris here with another Starcraft 2 broadcast. With me today we have two Terran players. Wait, Terran? Don't know what a Terran is. Maybe it's like a cross between a Terran and a potato, or a Terran and a pterodactyl. You get it? Pterodactyl? It flies around Zelnaga Caverns, and I'm totally doing the hand motion right now. And it swoops down and grabs an SCV, crunch, and then goes up and starts flying away. But the SCV is not one to be easily taken. It'll start drilling, trying to get through the rear with the gear, and unfortunately, it does fall to the might of the pterodactyl. That sounds like something I should do for like a StarCraft 2, like a mockumentary type thing, where I like sit there and talk about the SCVs. Watch as OneStar's SCVs graze on the barren plains. They are wary of predators that could be all around. Oh man, I'm just kind of all hyped up right now. So let's talk about the game. Focus on that. We have the blue Terran, OneStar, spawning down in the bottom left position, facing off against ChaoxTech? Question mark? I was sitting here with the game stopped, and I was reading this theme, and I'm like, how do I want to say this? ChaoxTech? 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 I don't know. So I'm just going to call him Chaotic. Chaotic. That's what we're going to call him. Chaotic. So he is the red Terran spawning up in the top right position, opening up with 1 Rax gas. We'll wait and see what he has coming down the road. We could be seeing some type of tech play from him. We're going to be looking to see... this is a tried and true map. I mean, everybody has played this map to the ground, through the ground, all the way down past the pterodactyl bones, and back again. So, I mean, most likely we're going to see pretty traditional Terran mech play. Although, you know, if one of them sees an opportunity with the other one expanding, maybe they can kind of catch them off guard. I feel like both of them are in pretty similar positions right now. So I don't think we're going to see one of them really get one leg up on the other in the early game, since their builds are so similar. But what is this, folks? The second barracks going down. We look up here at Chaotic, whatever I decided to call him. That's who we're looking at right now. We definitely do not see. Ooh, 1 Rax or 1 gas factory. Oh man, so we're gonna probably have a Hellion come out here at some point. Look, just again looking at the gas right now, he's riding very low. He's got that second one coming out, so maybe in a little while we'll see a tech lab add-on, get some tanks out there. But in the meantime, I really think that we're not going to be seeing any sort of Sky Terran play, at least opener. I mean, I really generally wouldn't see that too much unless the player decided to go for a Banshee harass, but whatever. It's still a little bit early to tell for sure what's going to be happening. Either way, looking around up here at the red Terran, I'm a little curious to see what he's going to be doing next. If he decides to drop a starport somewhere around here, maybe drop a second barracks. Notice how he really, neither player has really acquired good information. You see this was blocked off right there. And we'll just come up here and check out the old handy-dandy Redo cam. And really, Squat was seen here as well. So good catch on OneStar, by the way, throwing down that second SCV, or that second supply depot, before the scout could get up there. Oh, so here comes the first Hellion. Like I was saying earlier, really didn't have enough gas to do anything else with that factory. You might as well just go ahead and dump that on. Ooh, but a Reaper looking to engage. Oh, man. I feel like that Reaper could have definitely found a better place to try to attack our blue or our red Terran. But looking over here, OneStar with his Marauder and a Reaper, I think this is actually a very good move. This Marauder is going to be able to just obliterate, oh, yeah, well, especially if the Hellion decides to run right up to the Marauder. Like, hello, pizza delivery! And then the Marauder's like, we don't have pizza! I'm a freaking Marauder! And then shoots him in the face. And this is actually documented how these things transpire, by the way. So, I don't have any sources, but it's okay. I think we'll get over it. This Reaper, man, he is looking for a way to get some revenge. Uh-oh, the Marines aren't paying attention. Oh, man, so close. Run, Reaper, run! Back to your safe base. Yes, this is much more pleasant for you. Gotta watch out, because there's another Marine and Hellion. These Hellions, man, they have pretty good damage against those Marines. I mean, hey, they do extra damage against the light armor, so that 14 damage, especially when the Marines are lined up with that. Oh, God, it's such a thing of beauty. Gotta watch out, though. 2 more shots, and that thing is toast. So looking around down here, OneStar does have his second command center up, orbital command with the double mule. We see down here, this one's a little bit behind. So will ChaoxTech be able to really press forth and take a victory with this? I'm not sure. It kind of all depends here. If he decides to apply some pressure in the next few minutes, I think he'll see some big gains. But the problem is, he really doesn't have a lot that he can pressure with. You know, he has the ability to produce some Marines, some Hellions. He's got those Banshees. Of course, we see there's a missile turret up here, so that's not going to be too big of an issue. This first Banshee coming over right now, you see it's attacking a barracks, which I guess is cool if you really just assume maybe he wants to pull the Marines out of position. That's the only thing I can figure. I mean, we look and see he was able to pop off one, but I still feel like he could have gone at least for the tech lab to try to stop that stim pack research from finishing. The micromanagement continues, however, as this Banshee is really out for blood. He's looking for any opportunity that he can find. He is certainly not going to find it here. But now the Marines are going to be able to sandwich him. Oh, it goes down. Pretty substantial loss there. That Banshee just not really paying for itself. Took out a couple of Marines, kept the infantry distracted, but that's about it. We look back up here at the red base, and oh man, it is a Hellion train. Choo-choo! Right there. Whoa, man, this is going to be crazy. Let's see. What possible targets do we have? Well, if you raise the supply depot, not much of any. I mean, perfectly honest right here, these Hellions are going to be able to do squat. But, you know, if OneStar lets them in, then they could just wreak absolute havoc. So yeah, I think that ChaoxTech is smart and not really trying to commit to those. He's just kind of, he sent them down. He wants to check on the expansion, which this one obviously is way more vulnerable. He wants to make sure that he can delay this for as long as possible down here, since his own expansion was way behind his opponents. They're going to be landing at roughly the same time, however, so we'll wait and see how that actually turns out. But in the meantime, I think we're in kind of a lull moment. Again, this is where both players are realizing, okay, I'm not in the best position to mount an assault. We see that OneStar down here, he's got a siege tank. Okay, that's fine. He's got siege tech as well. But again, really not a lot that he can use to assault when ChaoxTech up here does have a couple siege tanks, a few Hellions, and of course there's the threat of the Banshees flying around as well. So as far as income is concerned, 33 to 41. We look at the APM, and as we watch those Hellions start to run in very close to their death, oh, one goes down, 90 to 97. We see that OneStar's ire is drawn very quickly as the Hellions retreat back towards the base. This poor SCV still just kind of hanging around here. Not sure what it's doing. I think it's probably browsing biscuit recipes on the internet or something. I don't know what SCVs do off the corner like that. Frankly, I don't really want to know what they do. But OneStar definitely moving forward. I like this kind of aggressive-ish posture that he's taken. You know, Xel'Naga Tower, we watched, or Xel'Naga Tower and a siege tank. Almost called it a siege tower for a second there. Great combination. Now, over here, we see that this one is not being claimed by anybody. Actually, I would like to see OneStar move up and take that as well, or at least have ChaoxTech move down. And you see, he does have quite the force. That is a lot of Hellions. We do see him going for this mech style of play with the air support as well. This could prove to be a very, very big thing here. I like how he's also got just a couple Vikings, not really committing too much to that. But this Banshee will be instrumental in taking out siege tanks, you know. If OneStar decides to move up a tank and start kind of pressing forward very slowly, or even, you know, if he can kind of come in and snipe a couple Marines here and there, it'll definitely pay for itself. But it remains to be seen how good he'll actually be with that, because the first one, like we saw earlier, wasn't really handled so well. You know, OneStar was able to sandwich that thing in, and well, that was pretty much all she wrote for that Banshee. So OneStar definitely has a good formation here. I like the spread of the siege tanks, able to cover that part up top. Oh, Marines taking a big hit there as ChaoxTech moves down forth with his own siege tanks, getting well within range, just out of visual. See that, man? Oh, that is so very close. Checking out ChaoxTech's vision. Let's see if we can just get a view of that real quick. You can barely see the tanks. These Vikings are able to spot, but really, for what? Those siege tanks up here are not in firing range of OneStar's tanks, and of course the Marauders over here are ready to back up at a moment's notice. Now, ChaoxTech is taking Is this SCV actually working? Yes, he is. Okay, I thought he was just sitting there for a second. He is taking the high yield expansion, which is a pretty risky move, but at the same time, I think that he is in a good position to take it. You know, all things considered, at least, he does have control of this watchtower. The problem is OneStar has this one. He has control of this side of the map. So it is still quite possible that OneStar is going to be able to press up the left side here, which we're starting to see him do, just with a small attack force, and catch Chaotic before he's able to really get this base established. Now, it's just out of visual range. Oh, he sees it now. Yes, indeed. So OneStar moving ahead, just leaving the siege tanks here, even have a sensor tower going down. This is an exceptionally good place for it, as it will watch both of the watchtowers. There's a saying, who watches the watchers? Well, I will have to say that OneStar is the one who sees them all right here as he moves out with a very, very good-looking force. A lot of Marauders. He's going to be able to run in, stem, and snipe off some of those tanks before they're really able to do any significant damage. Chaotic realizes that he is not in a good position. He wants to try to move up and pop off as many forces as possible, using that superior range from the air, from the Viking support, but not going to be enough, as those Marauders, like I said, they just steamrolled those armored units. And now we'll look back up at Chaotix, and he does have command center once again, turning it into an orbital command down here. This time the LVSCVs are gonna be stationed at this expansion. Very, very risky place. Oh no, loses one Hellion, I think. There's the remains of it right there as OneStar continues to move forward. We see one siege tank is under fire. Oh man, this is really where it kind of starts feeling like a chess game with the tanks, where you just kind of move them as very, very strategically as possible and to maximize the amount of damage with a long-term plan. But we do have the overlapping watchtowers here, so this is pretty much going to be the dead zone when it comes to trying to hide things. Both players knows what's going on in the central area, and of course Chaotic does have his own Viking support now, so he's going to be able to spot these tanks. He sees probably nothing, but just barely out of range. Yep, sure enough, there we go. He of course knows where these units are, however. He does have his own high yield expansion down here, and it sounds like there was a little bit of siege tank fire up here from the north. Took me a brief moment to find that, but there you have it. He was able to dispatch that tank. One thing I want to point out is that he does have weapons too, compared down here to Chaotic, who does not have any upgrades whatsoever on his mech units. He does have one weapons upgrade on the infantry. That's about it. I don't even think that that Chaotic has any infantry at all. He is just going pure mech with Viking support, and looking down here, it seems to be working somewhat well, but again, I still feel like OneStar has a little bit of a better position, namely because of the fact that he's backed up against this wall here, so he doesn't have to worry about attacks coming from here, and it also gives him the ability to control this watchtower and view way outside without putting his own Vikings at risk. So here goes Chaotic moving forward, very aggressive positioning on these tanks right here. You see several SCVs just went down a second or two ago as OneStar continues to patrol around this expansion. We see the Vikings trying to get a better position. The Marauders running in. Oh no, that is a pretty substantial loss for Chaotic right there. But he does have the factory support to try to reinforce this. Also want to point out that OneStar has several troops running around on the backside of our Red Terran's base. Oh, look at those folks. Massive attack coming out here. Hellions and everything. Even the mules are landing, trying to just do anything. You see that the Chaotix is actually, those mules did pay off pretty well, I think. One step landed those pretty much just to absorb the siege tank fire and delay some forces. As you look down here, we see that his infantry have come around and have once again have taken out the high yield expansion. Chaotic really isn't left with too many options here. These infantry are just doing a phenomenal job. Again, you can never underestimate the power of the Marauder with small siege tank battles like this. When you get into huge amounts of mech play, like tons of siege tanks, it's really difficult to try to push some type of heavy bio play. But when you've got just a few siege tanks littered around, not enough to do that heavy splash damage, these Marauders can absorb a couple shots and come in and just snipe the hell out of the tanks. So phenomenal play by OneStar here. Great battlefield analysis. As he moves out once again, we see that the Marauders are just obliterating everything in sight. I mean, it also helps that they're very good against those Hellions too. Pretty much, it doesn't quite negate the advantage of having the Hellions, but it really, really reduces their significance in battle. So there's the lack of a GG from Chaotic, as he has indeed left the game. Congratulations to OneStar for a job well done. Terran versus Terran, always one of those matchups that can be a little tedious. You know, the games tend to stretch on for a long period of time. But this one I think was very good, very representative of, you know, entertaining form of play for Terran versus Terran. And again, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing. That actually helps me out a lot. Also, if you enjoyed it, thumbsing up the video lets me know to keep doing things the way I'm doing. If not, leave a comment down below, or even if I am, you know, just leave a comment either way. Let me know, good, bad, etc. In a constructive manner is awesome. That'll help me the most. All right, I'll see you in the next video.